Hello, friends, and welcome to another single-serving tabletop adventure from Queen's Court Games. I'm Clara, and tonight I'll be your game master as we strap on our oxygen tanks, recalibrate the shield matrix, and overpressure the Jeffries tubes as we travel through the starry skies in Starscape, a found family science fiction game by Golden Lasso Games. Aaron made me do alliteration, now it's hard. If that sounds like something you'd be into, good news. Starscape is currently live on Kickstarter, where you can learn more about its unique relationship mechanics and pledge your support. Type !game in chat or check the show notes for a link. In the meantime, we'll be shimmy shaking under enemy fire in just a minute, but first let me introduce our cast. First up, playing the lime green feline, Bernard Shelley from Happy Jacks RPG, it's Artem.
Hello.
Next up, our Maid of Stars Greenhorn, tinkering with the comms console, visiting from her eponymous corner, it's Danny.
That's me. Hello.
Also on board, she's the minuscule, menacing medic, Banshee, taking a break from her Star Wars authorship, it's Riley.
Hello, that's me.
And last but not least, our amphibious, starfaring saboteur, Olokun, played by Garrett.
Hello, that's me.
!cast will get you the details on our cast members' social media accounts, as well as other projects. And if you don't subscribe to their channels or buy their books, we will know. Also, please take a moment to note the episode's content warnings. Find them with !safety in chat or in the episode description wherever you're catching us after. Now, if our crew is ready to take their stations, let me tell you a story. We start in a big, empty galaxy until, bam, suddenly a ship streaks across the camera. The thing is, it's something like a large mechanical whale by way of Jules Verne. At once, a steampunk, Art Nouveau steampunk monstrosity, and also somehow a train car. Splashed across the side, handwritten by its loving crew, the Narwhal. As it hurtles through space, streaking from what you would assume would be a blowhole, though I don't quite know what it quite does for a function, glittering, icy crystal, much like the trail of a meteor, streaks behind it. Some sort of exhaust that comes from your systems. Does anyone know why this particular ship has an exhaust pipe when it doesn't use anything that creates exhaust? It's space, it's sci-fi. Who the heck knows? Who cares? Come up with a reason in Technobabble in chat. But yes, it hurtles through space. It lists a little from one side to the other. Hot on its heels, two small, dinghy-sized craft, both far less novelty-esque. A dinghy craft, two barrel-shaped cylindrical floats on either side of it. Again, we are in space. They don't need them, but I don't care. Anchoring in the center, what could be described as a take on a Winnebago, if Winnebagos were made by Picasso, and a mechanic. The second one a little more abstract, a sort of air bubble that is surrounded by an oblong sort of blast glass disc, like a floating greenhouse. Both of them hot on your heels as they are pursuing you. Back on the ship, who is at the helm?
I shall tackle this challenge.
Perfect.
Flying the ship is merely fighting the ship through the stars, so I shall take on this challenge.
All right, Banshee, can you describe yourself as you tell us how you pilot this ship? We have no idea what the controls are like on the Narwhal.
Well, obviously, I am a figure of perfection. I am a compact creature the size of roughly perhaps a hobbit or a gnome in your fantasy literature. However, I am somewhat of a bluish grayscale type, very pale blue body with darker oceanic type blue markings all over me. I have a side shave of blue hair that's also curled up on top, and I am ripped with muscles, and I am ready to lay down and vanquish my foes upon need. However, of course, as you know, I do not kill. I only fight them down with my staff, and I have this really large staff with coursing with kinetic energy that hangs on my back. But currently, I believe that what I am doing is working a series of knobs and levers and pulling the levers much like I would handle my staff. And I am attacking the speed at which we need to course through space.
Amazing. Everyone on the you bank a quick hard left. Again, in space you don't bank. There's no air to make those things happen, but everyone for some reason drifts slightly as they crash into the side as you dodge what looks to be a little bit of space shrapnel, maybe a tiny asteroid, as Banshee dodges yet another piece of shrapnel, trying to lose their pursuers. Let's see, Nepter, where does the crew find you?
So I would like to think that Nepter, I am currently in my little refurbished storage storage janitor room right now, and I am taking a nap because this pursuit has they took too long to not catch us. So I think it was like the start of it was like, oh goodness, there's people after us, and then we're not dead in 5 minutes. I'll see y'all once we've stopped again. So you all see this somewhat average sized humanoid with sort of almost purplish skin, dark purplish skin, golden freckles sort of outline their face, as well as a sort of mullet reddish hair that's very coily and reaches to just at like halfway across my neck. I'm wearing like a sort of turtleneck, that's what it is, a turtleneck, like a black turtleneck, a red turtleneck and black sort of jacket and black pants with also a little scarf around my neck, and I'm just sort of in my little area, like head down on the table, and I'm just snoozing. I've clocked out.
Are you used to sleeping on bumpy, pursuit-filled ship adventures? Just this is normal for you?
Yeah.
Nepter can sleep through anything, apparently. As the ship rocks again with a glancing hit, nothing terribly damaging, because then I'd have to make you roll for it. Olokun, where do we find you?
Olokun is fidgeting with something. He's grabbed a lot of like electronics and kind of putting together a makeshift, kind of looks like an orb, something that he can use to defend off the pursuers. And what you see is an amphibious type creature, tall but lean, like grayish skin, 4 eyes, like deep blue-green dreadlocks coming down to his waist, with not quite a cowboy hat, but the one that's more circular, and a duster. But the duster is translucent with lots of hexagons over it, and then the rest of his body is kind of like a dirty cowboy-esque getup with browns and blacks, and smoking like kind of like a little stogie while he's fiddling with what could be an explosive, and kind of notices Neptar, just like, I know kids need sleep nowadays, but this is ridiculous. And he's finishing what could be something to shake off the pursuers. So it's like it's a little it's an explosive, but it's more of an EMP, meant to damage but not destroy.
Right on. Do you intend on using that anytime soon?
One quick screw and it's ready to go.
Awesome. We can do a little bit of ship combat, but before we do that, there's one last member of our party we have not seen yet. The ship continues to hurtle through space, the narwhal flapping its tail behind it. Again, it is somehow both a train and a whale. Our players came up with this description of the ship. If you are interested in seeing any of our our session 0, and you're a Patreon subscriber, we will be releasing that. And if you are not, you should go watch it because it's insane. But yeah, so if you hear some weird descriptions, it is not my fault this time. The rest will be. The ship is not my fault. But yes, we see our final crew member on this, our second final, we have a captain, but our final crew member on this teeny tiny former diner car ship. Bernard, where do we find you and what are you doing?
Well, I am scurrying around in some of the more the engine side of the ship, and I'm trying to figure out a couple of ways to get ourselves to go faster, to get away from these space brigands, these stellar buccaneers. How dare they? And so Bernard is a 5 foot tall house cat, green fur, little antenna, and sports a little necklace around their neck that says Bernard Shelley, their nom de plume. So at this moment, as the ship is getting rocked back and forth, Bernard kind of gets flipped upside down and kind of keeps landing on their feet. Keeps trying to get their footing. I've got it. Who's at the helm? And I start sprinting over to the helm to try to run into to see who currently today is at the wheel of our ship. And I guess I round the corner and see Banshee. And I exclaim, "Oh, I've got it! Okay, so." If we just access the auxiliary tender to funnel fuel to our biometric booster, I think we could connect with some more of the less spotty tracks, the current that we're kind of trying to, and we can just propel ourselves forward. So long as we don't blow our steam dome, okay, we're gonna be all right. But boy, are we gonna look silly if we've got all sorts of astral ash all over our face. You know what I mean? And I pat Banshee lovingly on the shoulder.
My verdant friend, your skills have proven useful to us once again.
Thanks.
Okay, so I have 2 questions for you. One, Bernard, are you trying to do something by using Technobabble first? Or was that just very good?
Always. I'll just go ahead and use it.
What is your plan here?
Based on what Bernard Shelley said, I think that they were setting us up for a fly, because it's like they're doing a way to make our ship maneuver better. So I think that makes the most sense to me. I'm trying to think of what we would use instead. I guess Savvy could also work for what Olakum was preparing, so...
Well, I'll give you this. Everyone has to be able to contribute in some way to making this roll happen. So why don't you hop on the comms maybe and see if you can get everyone on board?
Sure. I hop on the comms and hopefully wake up Nepter as they're sleeping. And I go, all right, my allies and compatriots, we are in a tough spot, but we have been in tougher spots than this. The decision needs to be made. Shall we try to evade our foes and live to fight another day, or shall we try to disable them and leave them dead in the water? Metaphorically speaking, of course, not destroying them, just waiting for help.
I say, let's just get the crud out of here.
I peek out of my little curtain and I'm like, they're still following us?
Not for long, due to our feline friend and his techno-science wizardry.
Okay. After almost turns back around to go in the room, but then they're like, oh, all hands on deck. Okay. And then I'll come back out and say, okay, what are we doing?
Well, we're going full steam ahead. I've got a nifty little trick. I'm just hoping it doesn't disjoint our safety valves, but I see a way for us to just connect with a strong current. Let it pull us forward, but we're gonna need to burn a little extra quantum coal on this one.
I got some of the coil batteries that was supposed to support our energy fuel lately. Well, I guess not fuel. I wish we had used fuel. Our energy lately. And I was thinking maybe we could connect them. I know there's a system sort of in the back. We could sort of connect those and use some of those batteries there. I coiled them the other day. I really want to use them.
You coiled them yourself?
Yes, I was bored.
Oh, this is astronomically awesome. Oh, well, let's do that. We could do something with that. Come on, let's go, Napster.
Thanks, Bernie. Paddle along.
Oh, Lacoon, is there anything you're doing to help us make the ship go?
Yeah, if we're worried about doing some damage to the ship, I'll be on standby, ready to jury-rig something that will at least get us, to our next stopping point in case something goes wrong.
Heck yeah. All right, so everyone, I assume with Banshee still at the helm, everyone is going to roll where'd it go? Everyone's going to roll 2d6, and then because you're doing a fly, you're going to roll courage. Add your courage to that.
Bernard rolled a 9.
I have rolled an 11 on my dice.
An 11 from Banshee.
10 from me.
And Olakun?
And a 6.
So your highest score is an 11, dang. Yeah, absolutely, you do it. Bernard, can you describe to me what your mission, oh, and also you get a +1 because of Technobabble. So, 12. Holy crap. Yeah, can you explain to me what you do to both, what this thing does, and then and how it looks when it works, and also what extra cool badass thing happens as you, fire this thing, as it goes?
I run along with the Nepter following after me, and we get back to the firebox, which is it feeds into the fire tube cylinders. These are all very, very technical terms. I won't bore you with it now, but we get back there, and I say, Nepter, all right, the coil batteries really not supposed to be used for this, but I'm pretty sure if we attach it to the safety valve, but we turn off the blowdown valve, we might be able to over intensify the thermal capacity and just blow right out of here. I'm gonna need an extra set of paws or hands, or I just I gotta turn these two valves, and you insert the battery, okay? On my count.
Oh, on your count. Okay.
Okay, count with me. 3, 2, 1.
These might explode, by the way.
Oh, shove it! And I turn the valves.
Push them in.
The valves all turn smoothly. You hear a soft whale-like hum as as everything clicks into place, and it seems, and you feel Banshee at the helm, you feel yourself hit the back of your seat for a moment. In fact, everyone feels rocketed backwards as your momentum increases, and you just streak on out. It's almost like FTL, but not. It's as close as you can get to FTL without doing the actual jump. Yeah, is there anything else that happens? Is there anything major extra that happens when you do this?
Well, I turn to Neptune as we're rocketing through this, and I look at him and I go, "You remember to oscillate the subspace in the modulator element of the battery, didn't you?"
What? I thought you wanted to go faster.
Oh yeah, quite fast, but we're gonna have to slow down at some point. But that's a later us problem.
Exactly. We haven't spotted yet.
Great, up top, and just try to high five Neptune.
You guys have done so well, and no one rolled below a 6, so no one took any hits, no one took any extra damage or anything. That this all works perfectly. Banshee, you are barely hanging on to any of all of the joysticks, as what was already the worst game of asteroids has become a bullet hell.
You know how I'm picturing it? Because we had said that this diner car was like a former like seafood restaurant. I'm almost imagining the pilot seat as like almost like a mechanical bull kind of thing, and I'm like really being rocked around on this
absolutely.
kind of like, shock type seat, and I'm like really trying to hang on while doing stuff.
You are in the weirdest bullet hell game as you're just dodging just the junk of space. Do you know where you're going?
Oh, absolutely not.
Does anyone have an idea where we're going? You've just been pursued by brigands for reasons that frankly don't matter in this episode. But yes, as you look in your rear view mirror, whatever that actually is on this spaceship, spaceships have rear view mirrors? Who knows? You gotta have something to hang the dice off of.
The dice, that's right.
As you hurtle forward, you look in the rear view mirror, no sign of your pursuers. Just empty galaxy, all kind of doing the little liney thing as if they're almost getting ready to jump. How are you stopping the ship, everyone?
I'm thinking to myself, well, if we haven't caught a solid current that's taken us where we want to go, I really don't know where we're actually going, and we're gonna keep moving there pretty fast. Yes, this was a forward-moving kind of tactic, less on the how to stop the forward-moving tactic, I'm afraid, crew.
Don't worry, I can take care of it. And I looked down at the contraption I was making. It's like, well, if I can't use it that way, I can use it this way. And kind of reverse the polarity of it. And I just slam my hand against like one of the walls, and a little chute kind of comes out, and it goes towards the front cannon. And I go, on 3, hit the lever to Banshee.
All right. I think that then like I'm probably trying to like brake basically, so like it's probably like there's probably like so much force, so it's like me fighting against the force of the levers to change the polarity, not the polarity, but like the strength of it.
Right. And the idea is that this little contraption that I made, once it goes out, if it goes out at the right time, the explosion of it will also kind of push back against our ship, giving us a break.
All right. I almost want you to do one more ship move for this, because it feels like it won. Again, so this is again a ship move. You're trying to brake. Would we argue that this is fly, or this is fight? Because I feel like the nature of it is fighty, but you are still flying.
I sort of think it's fight because we're fighting against the physics of it. That's like my like dumb explanation, but like it is only because I described it as me physically pushing back against the levers. But that's what I'm doing. But I don't know if that describes what the whole ship is doing. And also, you are using a weapon to do it. But
I'm blowing up momentum.
Yeah,
if that's not fight, I don't know what is.
I shout out.
Too true.
If I dampen the primary modulator, then we might finally have a induction shift.
How dare you use technobabble on me? All right, everyone roll your 2d6. Banshee, you get the +1 because of the technobabble. How dare you?
And if we're doing... Are we doing fight or are we doing fly? What did we decide?
We're doing fight because my degree is not in science, so I don't know how physics works. This is how braking works in space now.
Nice.
Lokun got a 12.
Yeah.
Nice.
That +2 for body.
Bang.
Plus the 1 for technobabble, so...
Whew. Did anyone get under a 6? Never. All right. So, 4 group rolls for the ship. everything under any 6 or lower roll means that you take like a little bit of a hit. But again, you did so heckin' well. Olokun had this bomb. Bernard, what did you do anything to help make this happen?
Oh, I think I am just so impressed with what Olokun just did, even though it seemed insane to use our guns to break us. But I am truly so fascinated. So I think I just spent the entire time just watching and learning. and then trying to kind of maintain keep myself from slamming into the front windshield.
Heck yeah. Banshee, is there anything else you do? Oh, actually, you're fighting the controls, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm full on this bull and I are real. Oh, this, it's a tough day for this beast, but I shall vanquish it. I apologize to your editing now because I probably just yelled on the microphone by accident. But...
You're fine. And Nepter, what do you do to try to help us break?
So I think Nepter gets the idea that like, oh, okay, I see what's happening. What if we drifted? And so I will rush to one of like the side parts of the car where we could like release and bring back our gravity anchor. And you see Nepter goes, so there's like a 2% chance a meteor passes under us and we drift on it. And if not, I still win. And then they will pull on the thing to have what I imagine is sort of like in my heart, it's like an anchor, but it has sort of that like, I don't know how to describe it. We know how like there's like those like circular boosters, and like when they push out, there's almost like a circular pulse instead of like a straight fire jet. I like to imagine it's sort of like the head of an anchor, but the bottom of the anchor is sort of like those 3 things like that. And when it drops down, it sends almost like sort of a gravity pulse to latch onto. And essentially, the idea is that there's like maybe like a small meteor or piece of rock that for a second it connects to help the ship very, very slightly tilt to the side, so that when this bomb hits, it hits it at an angle and at the perfect stop, so that it prioritizes the lessening of speed even more. And this is probably why I got a 5.
Well, the good news is you do stop. You know what? It's real. You do stop, which is honestly not an easy feat in space. So you stop. The anchor comes dropping out of the ship and latches itself onto a nearby piece of space debris, a large one, maybe a large chunk of rock. And the ship swings around. This is a real hornblower move, to be honest. As you, I guess, if it's space, it's a real Honor Harrington move. As you swing as the ship swings around, and basically, you all go streaking. The centrifugal force of it, you all find yourself squished against the side of the ship in whatever room you're in. As the whole thing swings to make a full 180. So you are now facing where you came, except it's absolutely unfamiliar because that first boost really got you somewhere. And you guys, you all, the ship, the Narwhal comes to a slow stop as it finishes its rotation around. And you sit there for a moment hovering in a very quiet sector.
Any fight you can walk away from.
Yes, Banshee.
I believe we have emerged victorious this day, and we should all be quite proud of ourselves. I noticed that there are things for the ship moves. If you get 10+, there are, like, benefits to it. So I want to just point out we should. I don't know if someone. I might be volunteering myself to do this by asking this question, but is someone tracking our ship investments? And if so, I guess it's going to be me now. So we get a +1 for ship investment for the fly roll, but for the fight body roll, everyone gets to clear a condition. And so I'm choosing to clear reckless. And the reason why I'm choosing to clear reckless is not that I have gotten less reckless, it's that I realize now that my recklessness is on par with the rest of the crew and what we're doing. So it's no longer a condition. It's just the standards of what counts as reckless for this crew just dropped dramatically.
Amazing. And thank you for keeping me honest on that. Yes, everyone clear a condition as you successfully fought momentum, which is definitely how that works. And anyone who wants to teach me about physics can engage with this in the comments later. Yeah. But yes, it's not oddly silent, it's space. You find yourself drifting softly. The ship, because of its whale-like nature, is always sort of rocking. Honestly, it's quite nice. If you're going to sleep, it feels a little like you're in a cradle again, but has come to a mostly complete stop. As you sit and have this moment of quiet, it is broken by what you perceive to be sort of a bubbly, warbling voice. I'm not gonna do it, but it is the little sort of thing, as your ship's captain appears on what you think of as an intercom. Your captain, Flamin' Jenny, is a sentient jellyfish-like octopus situation. And she is mostly reclusive, as she is primarily aquatic and cannot leave her little her hamster network of watery tubes that fill the ship like veins. And her quarters, the captain's quarters, has been sealed off in this ship. And if you look in the porthole of it, it is just a large aquarium where this, honestly bigger than you would expect for the size of the tubes, octopus thing lives. But yes, over the intercom, there's a warbling voices. Flamin' Jenny goes, "Oh, where are we? What happened? I'm so sorry. I was taking a nap."
We have emerged victorious this day.
Victorious? Yes. As planned. Yep. Fully my plan the entire time. Thank you, Banshee. You are an asset to the team, and you feel the idea of a high five.
Oh, I 100% put my hand up against the glass where, like...
Jenny kind of undulates to the glass and points to the side of the window where there is a "please do not tap on the glass" placard that is from the days when this was this ship happened to be a novelty restaurant called Flamin'
so
Jenny's.
good.
Forgot about that.
That's my favorite detail. I love it.
Please don't tap on the glass. But she understands. Out of curiosity, can anyone, Jenny, seems, you get the feeling of bashfulness rather than seeing this thing be bashful. Did we take any damage to the cargo?
Ooh, oh,
Check. Why?
I've waited too long to answer, haven't I?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we may have picked up a little extra cargo, and I just wanted to make sure it was safe.
Captain, it feels like you didn't answer the question as much as restate the previous confusion.
Well, it was a rough trip, and I'm worried that the cargo is unsafe.
Again, it feels like this is the third time you've repeated the same bit of information without any new information being added to the mix.
Okay. It so happens that at our last stop, and truly you've never seen an octopus do this Fingers together, ooh woo thing. You get this sense of, again, this is an octopus. You get this sense of like bashfulness and oh no, but like also the thing is as unapologetic as ever. At our last stop, I just happened to hear some terrestrialist jerks talking about how they had gotten some over on a nearby aquarium, and I thought, if I can liberate a train car, I can liberate whatever I want, and may happen to have acquired some cargo from 2 of the other ships at dock. You guys looked like you were having so much fun, I didn't want to bother you.
Thought you were sleeping.
What?
Thought you were sleeping.
I mean, yeah, I only have to rest half my brain at once.
Okay. And I take like a big puff of my little stogie, just like, okay, well, might as well go see what we picked up.
I just think that people who are, I think that we need to, punish poor behavior by taking their things without them knowing. And then if they find out, then they'll have learned a lesson. Or try to take it back.
Yeah, they did that part.
And you lost them. Good for you. Again, you feel the like high five feeling.
I start to go to the glass again, and then I stop, and I look at the sign, and I like nod.
We'll have a hand installed. Yes, Flame and Jenny learned about high fives fairly recently, and it's sort of their thing now. But yes, if you could check the cargo bay, that would be great. Again, I don't know how Flame and Jenny is playing with her hair.
I imagine like a tentacle being like
just another tentacle.
Question real quick: what are Flame and Jenny's pronouns?
Any and all.
Okay.
As she talks, you do see the like through one of the tubes, Jenny start making her way towards the cargo bay area. Is there a full cargo bay in this dining car turned spaceship?
I feel like we would have put like a makeshift box kind of towards the back, and that is basically what we have allowed it for our cargo.
What if the cargo bay is like what used to be like the walk-in, like it used to be like the storage for like food, and we've like turned it like to build off what Olokun said, but it's like a makeshift, like we've made it into a cargo. Yeah.
Amazing. Yes, you can see again. This whole ship has these like this hamster-like network of tubes, and Jenny does fill the entire space as they undulate down into the former walk-in, now cargo bay of your ship. Again, this place is tiny. Oh, good. I think it's all here. It does look jumbled. You can kind of hear from, again, it's psychic, so it just happens in your head, but... Does anyone with thumbs want to check this for me?
Bernard thoughtfully looks at their paws. I'll accompany someone with thumbs.
I'll check it out.
Every room of your ship has a small tank, so you can sort a smaller tank where you can see this octopus, jellyfish thing, light, kind of glowing, and smashed against the edge of it. Well, I can't do it. I can only lift about 5 pounds.
So open up our little cargo area. What do we see? Like, is it like not big enough for crates, but like, is it boxes? Is it just all over the place?
You get to the cargo hold, again, a refurbished walk-in refrigerator. Unless anyone has gone out of their way to organize the space, it is fairly chaotic, as is what seems to be most of the vibe of the ship. But yes, in the back, all of your cargo has been stamped with the name of your ship, the Narwhal. It's just a little N and then like a little like tail on the end somehow. But there are 2 crates that clearly do not have your stamp on them. The first one has Derek Barnacle Grundle, and the second one has the Fraudly Grail logo.
Ah, yes, I carried those boxes on for the captain earlier. I believe. I thought it was odd that we have a different logo, but the captain says the captain gets what they want, so.
Banshee, have I already told you I loved you?
Many, many times, and I quite appreciate it.
Yeah, so if someone could help me out with that. Again, aquatic creature stuck in a tube.
Olokun will he'll open the first one you said.
The barnacle
Yes.
box. Medium-sized box, full of paper streamery things that they use to cushion it. And as you reach in, are you just gonna dig around and pull something out of it?
Mm-hmm.
You reach in, fairly deep actually, and you feel something oddly shaped. And as you pull your hand out, you see a bobblehead, a pirate bobblehead. He's got one metallic peg leg, a little eye that seems to be cybernetic of some sort. It kind of gleams. There's actually like a little gem in there. And if you press a button at the base of the bobblehead, it goes, "Yar, mateys."
Because the head bobbles.
It does bobble.
Dude, just like to see it bobble.
You feel here, Jenny. Rad.
Was that all?
I had no idea what was in the boxes.
Oh, so you do? Oh, okay.
I just stole them as a punitive measure.
Sure.
Well, Banshee stole them. I asked.
Okay. Well.
What's in the other one?
Yeah. Flip over to the other one. What's in it? What's inside?
You open up the second crate that says the Fraudly Grail, and inside there seem to be a couple random documents. They are ship manifests for a popular cruise liner, just around. A couple other things. It does seem like maybe this crate has been stolen a couple times and added to. So it's ship manifests and like accounting information, not like important accounting information, but like receipts from a popular cruise liner. A couple novelty shirts for what you have seen posters for, which seems to be a Lotsarian is the name of the people. They have like a dance troupe that comes around and like advertises profusely. They talk about Lotso as you've never seen it before from the past. There's a couple like tools like screwdrivers and various mechanics kit things. They all have different labels and a label maker that has been labeled label maker.
This is indeed a bounty of great value, for many of my paramours have told me that they like to make sure they have plenty of receipts, so I definitely understand that the receipts are extremely important.
Yes. What are receipts for?
I don't know, but they say, if you mess with me, don't worry, I bring receipts. So I assume that means it's a defensive mechanism of some sort.
Absolute great idea. I'm glad we've acquired someone else's defense system then. Could you do me a favor, Olokun? And again, Jenny does the three tentacles, six tentacles all.
A little puff.
Moving. Could you drop one of those bobbleheads into my tank?
Sure. And I feel like in this ship there's little compartments like the tubes, like the old tubes where like banking systems used to use that would suck up something. I feel like there's a couple of those, scattered throughout our train plane space.
It's also where the flakes go in.
Yeah. I would just, find one, whichever one's closest to me, and just drop it in.
Yeah. And you see as it goes and into it lands in the tank next to Jenny, who fully just octopuses around it. Pneumatic tubes, thank you. Like octopuses around it, and just This is an excellent treasure indeed. Almost worth getting rid of some of our rations for.
Oh. Oh.
We're out of food.
We're not out of food. We're just down 2 crates. The bobblehead is moving slower underwater.
Wait,
Where are we anyway?
this was stolen. How? Why did we lose crates?
Oh, well, I had to put something in their place, so Banshee unloaded the last crates and put these crates on.
You're welcome, Captain.
Scratching his head.
Wait, we traded
trading.
food for receipts?
We did, apparently, a profound defensive system.
Yes, make sure you bring receipts against your foes. They cannot back down once they know that you have receipts.
I kind of curiously walk over to the pile of receipts and I consider them and I go, well, it's an archaic source of fuel. I suppose we could use them to power short bursts of momentum, but I'm not sure if these will really... Well, I don't know if these receipts really will be that useful for the ship.
Space!
Oh. Yes, we are in space. I think we could take a look at our navigational systems. One moment, Captain, don't you worry. And I kind of walk over to the panel that has a kind of a projection of the, digital space map. And I look at it, and I think it's throwing me for a loop. I'm not sure what I'm actually seeing.
So, let's see. Does anyone? I mean, it's a little it's a basic brains roll to decode the space map.
Okay. Sure. I think I look at the map carefully and sort of feeling kind of compelled to figure out, just in my mind trying to do the math of like, well, we moved this fast and then we traveled, we leaped across these many solar quantum lanes. I wonder where we could have ended up. And I think in the process, as I look at this, my face disappears off the front of my head and it reappears in the map as it kind of hovers through the map, kind of to try to understand where we are. So if anyone comes over, they'll just see me standing like this, but there's no face on the front of the body. And so I'm going to do an excess knowledge roll, and I'm going to do with advantage, but I think it will be I have to do this move called plugged in by wagering 1 trust to be able to roll with advantage, just because it's very peculiar to see a creature with no face.
I will say Neptune will probably walk by to be like, oh yeah, we're looking at the world thing. Oh, you're doing the right.
Yeah, and you just it's just me.
Oh my god, sorry.
Okay. So I will roll twice. Good lord. That's good. It's good that I'm rolling twice. Not great, folks. We went from a 4 to a 6. Oh, but I do have 2 in brains. So do I add that?
Yeah,
Yes,
you will
it's
add your brains.
So it's actually an 8.
Rad. An 8 is a
Woo!
an 8 is a mixed success. Yeah, well, you are partially right. The ship has been following this ship follows gravitational currents that exist in space, as we all know. It follows these currents and it uses them to move faster and just generally as ley lines across the galaxy. However, there is a limit to everything you have explored in space. As you look as you look into the map, and everyone else sort of can look down at your mouth, at your face of it, interfacing with it, you get the sense that you are in what is known as frontier space. the people who have decided where the center of the universe is, whichever culture that is, there is a limit to how far they have explored. And most popular knowledge of the day basically refers to this as a here there might be dragons, but dragons are fairy tales. And the this area is known for having smaller communities of folk, perhaps made in little colonies on smaller rocks, etc. Not as populated. In this time in this galaxy, some planets and systems have created central governments. This far out, no one has tried. Some settlements out here are backed by a corporation or a governmental system, but most folk here have moved out here with a Atmo habituator and a dream.
Oh, yeah. I think as I come to kind of grasp that that's how far we're at, kind of looking up at Neptune, who's looking at me, and it's because my face is just still moving around the map. And I'd relay that knowledge, and I just have to, I guess, point out that because I rolled an 8, I'm actually I'm gonna mark a condition, but so is Neptune.
Ooh.
And I think it's because as I'm looking up, I go, Neptune. Okay, so I think maybe if we could, is anyone? And I kind of like the face kind of swirls around to see if anybody else from the crew is around, and they say, I've never been. Well, as far as I know, I've never been anywhere as far as this. There's very little out here that the people folks out here are living on meager means, and we might be a little bit short on friends or places to refuel or get food. Quite frankly, I'm not really sure that I should have talked you into to letting me power the ship like that, and it's throwing us out here. I'm not really sure how we're gonna get back.
Oh, Bernie, listen, these things happen. Sometimes you go a little too far out in the system and things burn out and you drift for a while, but that doesn't mean it's gonna be like that forever. I mean, things usually work out for us, I'm pretty sure. Well, I was pretty sure I was drifting out in space for quite a while before I bumped into this ship. We could be drifting for a little while, maybe not forever, but something like halfway to forever, a long time. Yeah, like a quarter.
A quarter of forever?
Yeah.
How long is that?
Maybe like a week.
Oh, Whiskers, this is not it's not ideal.
As you say, "Oh, Whiskers," to your minions, your Zig and Zag, you see that two tiny. Are they also green?
Oh, for sure, yeah, green little kittens.
Two wee green kittens come tumbling into the space. They seemed to have been enjoying their time on the rockin' boat, but they look up at you now and go, "Forever?"
Oh, Zig. Oh, Zag. I don't know if it's forever, but maybe it's quarter to forever. Neptune, how long is quarter to forever?
I'm I feel like I look at like the two little kittens, and there's like a pause, like a week.
That's so long.
2.5 days.
2.5. Okay.
Days.
Okay, 2.5 days is a good amount of time. That's a lot, but I think we can survive 2.5 days.
Yeah, we can manage 2.5 days.
I'm gonna
Bernie,
get so
we can
bored.
manage 2.5 days. Okay, in 2.5 days, we're gonna make things work out.
Oh, all right, Neptune. If you say so. Oh
I say
gosh.
I know so. I'm Nectar.
While you're are you still interfacing with the navigational system?
So I think I realized that I want to get off the map as soon as possible. So it fades off and comes back into my own face.
As you reform into your own face, you can now see the star map from above, and you do notice there are some folk have come out here and had the audacity to name the system and name things out here. You notice that you are nearby a space that has been named the Iris Belt, a belt of asteroids. And if anyone wants to look out the space window, you might even see them just on the horizon ? A series of an asteroid belt, so a bunch of rocks and space debris. So named Iris because they have an unusually high amount of quartz in them, and faceted and other faceted minerals, making them sort of sparkle like rainbows as light hits them. You also notice when you, as you are looking down again, the names are popping up. As the ship sort of floats closer. It's still anchored, so it's not going to fully leave where you've stopped. But as you kind of pop in and drift in and out, so they pop onto the screen, then they disappear. Then they pop onto the screen, then they disappear. Several asteroids that have been named after some conglomeration of, I guess, folk heroes. You see a couple small settlements named Pious Bellamy, Pious Zara, and Pious Andromeda.
Perhaps we can get more rations on those pie worlds. They are lush with pies. We should go there.
Olakun, you were saying?
Do those names ring any bells to any of us?
Let's see. Bernard, they don't. Bernard, you do remember drifting, but not quite this far. Banshee, you've been on sort of a Rumspringa, correct?
Yeah.
And Olakun, why don't I have everyone roll a brains just to see if you can kind of remember anything?
I got a 7.
I also got a 7.
Okay. Bernard and Nepter, it sounds like you failed. Anything, Bernard?
I managed to roll altogether a 12.
Actually, okay. I retract my statement. Banshee and Olakun, the concept of piouses is something that you do understand. It's sort of just another word for like a saint. So essentially, I'm gonna tell on myself here. You're basically by like a Saint Bart's, Saint Matthew's, Saint like islands.
Oh, I love it. That's so smart.
So that is sort of how you recognize that. Like what you recognize. So whoever you bought, like whoever is updating the software in your navigation, that naming convention has come from them. Bernard. That name does sound familiar. Pious Andronicus. It scratches at the back of your head. It might have just been a story you heard while you were traveling. People talk about it all the time, going to like running off and starting a new life out on the frontier, out on frontier space, getting a little asteroid to call their home. Also, it's basically a bunch of small port towns. So lots and lots of travelers pass through that area. You don't know that you feel like that you've ever been here before, but you do feel it. You do. The swaying of the ship that you're on kind of reminds you a bit of maybe another ship. It felt larger somehow. You're about 5 feet tall, but you weren't. It didn't feel like that when you were on this previous ship. Something about it. Something about a little port town feels like home to you.
Yeah, I like longingly stare out at these islands, and little Zig and Zag have like jumped on my shoulders, we're all kind of focused on this area out there. I think in the moment, Bernard, I am feeling very overwhelmed with this sense of kind of nostalgia and a real, like, shall I say, a cat's curiosity. I turn to the rest of the gang, almost a little too excited, and I say, well, haha, maybe it's just our luck that we are in such a, such a pearlescent and gorgeous looking area. Well, certainly we gotta take a glance, take a look, touch down, touch Earth, as they say somewhere. Where did I hear that? Yeah, Earth. Strange saying. I'm going to take a look at the steam dome. I will be back. And I kind of scurry off to my little cozy comfort area, which is right next to our blowhole / our steam pipe. But I think I do scurry off in a hurry in a way that's obviously a little too worked up. Be right back, everyone. Yep. And I scurry.
Sensing it, Zig and Zag also after you and run after you as well. They Puffy almost when cats get really surprised.
Yeah.
They're first standing on Puffy as they run away. But yeah, floating in space. Flame and Jenny undulates her way through one of the tubes. They sort of end up, they plop into a container that's a little more around you guys. Well, sounds like we had quite the score. Maybe we can offload some of this junk somewhere. What's the plan? Oh, I'm the captain. I order you to tell me what the plan is.
The plan is go down, try to restock, get some of that food you traded for.
I didn't trade it. I offloaded it.
When you steal and you give something back, it's a trade.
Damn it. All right, well.
Maybe that's why those pirates were chasing after us. They wanted to give us our food back.
Very lovely.
Honestly,
that would be nice.
So kind. I guess let's head. Are we headed planet side?
Might as well.
Asteroid side?
And I will say Olokun, starts to head towards our navigation, but he takes a very long, not long, but like a side-eyed look at the direction that Bernard ran towards. Just a little side-eye. Or side eyes. I got 4, so 2 are on one side.
Really just you looking again.
Yeah.
I wonder what that guy's
doing. Then I
head
off.
I look at all the rainbowy crystals that are in space, and I say to probably the captain, because I don't think anyone else is listening to Banshee at this point, I say, many of my conquests have worn pins and ribbons with that color combination on it. Maybe they are from this world originally.
Oh, yeah. The captain looks, again, has a habit of splatting themselves against whatever pane of glass they're looking out of. Really is. How many, do you know how many cones you have in your eyes, Banshee?
Yes.
How many?
Sorry, no, I meant yes, I think I have cones in my eyes.
Oh. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see all of these colors, but they're gorgeous. And you actually look and, Jenny, he's like rippling in like color. A little like a mantis shrimp going haywire.
Oh yes, that is the color of those pins that I was talking about.
Yeah. Wow.
I think like Nepter will come up sort of a little, they're moving a little slower than usual. But they'll like pop up next to Banshee and we'll say it's like staring out. I'm like staring out. They make pins of this stuff, Ban?
Yes, they say it shows their pride.
Oh, I get what you're saying now.
They are very proud of their home, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, that feels. Yeah, we can say that.
I think it's safe to say y'all start to descend towards one of the towards the Pious Andronicus. Wonderful. I'm going to use this moment to take our break. And with that, we're going to take our break, stretch your legs, drink some water, restock on your food rations that you didn't trade off for bobbleheads, and we will see you in a few minutes. Hello, welcome back to Queen's Court, and welcome back to space, specifically frontier space, as our intrepid heroes lower the ship. Wow, bring the ship to port, the tiny port town of Pious Andronicus, one of the many little settlements that have established themselves in this frontier section of the Iris Belt, a asteroid belt in the edge of the map. As you land, you can see it. Most of these ships actually do have moorings, so fun. This is where I dump some boat knowledge at you. I know that we are in a refurbished train, but this is a boat thing now. Moorings are basically when you don't want to pull your ship entirely to dock, because docks are often limited on space. So they put little anchors out in a safer area of a bay, and you can attach your ship to the anchor out there instead of picking up valuable dock space, and then you can take like a dinghy in. In this case, you can kind of see it. It's not hugely populated, but there's a significant amount. There's a couple handfuls of ships just moored. You can kind of, as you get closer to the asteroid, smaller chunks have come off of it and are all kind of orbiting at the same rate. So it seems stationary where you're sitting. The moorings, they're little gravitational, much like the anchor that Neptune described earlier, with ships attached to these little gravity anchors along the more scattered pieces of asteroid, all glittering with reflective rainbow crystals in the nebula light. But yes, you this is fairly normal for anyone who sails and travels as much as you do. You have a small, essentially just enough space for the four of you, sometimes with a side tank for Jenny. And with like a forklift style thing attached to the back of it, and then almost lashed like like ratchet strapped to either side of the of this golf cart forklift situation are two, fully enclosed obviously because still space, are two propulsion engines from clearly another vehicle. They are attached like with a ball socket so they can rotate, and that is actually how you turn and stuff. You load up your two ill-gotten, hard-earned crates. Anything else you might want to try to sell while you're at port, and put into the dock at the Andronicus.
One of those crates only had the bobble head in it, right?
Oh, it had many bobbleheads.
Many bobbleheads, and you only wanted to keep one, Captain? You just wanted one?
As you check in with the captain, Flame and Jenny has retreated into their like larger enclosure, the captain's quarters, where you can kind of see Jenny with the bobblehead, as well as a couple other like a Barbie doll and like the middle-sized Matryoshka doll, and it seems to be engaged in something. They're not speaking, so you can't really hear them. You do hear like little bubbling, but they seem to be content with the one. If you look, the things seem to be crashing into each other, and then coming down, and then shaking and then stopping.
Okay. So go to port.
Adorable.
Weirdest character I think I've made for a game.
Great.
Yeah, as you get to port, it's kind of I think Bernard, the smell hits you. This feels so familiar. It is the first smell that hits you all is oil, like fried food, and then the second thing that wafts past is obviously the food itself. It's roasting meat, aromatic herbs. There's kind of this undertone of like, I'm gonna say umami, but what it like scent is. In my head, I'm conjuring the smell of stinky tofu, so I apologize. But just like this blunt umami undercurrent under everything, almost fishy. And as you're walking through port, you can see it's people. There's a rudimentary atmosphere system that has helped people settle. So there are sort of day and night vibes, but when things are not as advanced as they are in closer and more settled worlds, you kind of get like a perpetual dawn and twilight. There isn't really a full day or full night. So it's sort of this twilight air. There are stalls of people hawking food everywhere. You can see other spacers have brought in, are doing what you're doing and trying to just bring in small cargo that they can trade off. There's usually like a marketplace you can find or a pub you can travel to. The other to offload this material. Otherwise, you might be looking for like a scrapyard.
Olokun would, as we get there, would just take out like a little sack that keeps at his side and just kind of grab like a handful of meteorite, I guess, and fill his little sack with it.
The pretty like stones or yeah. It's everywhere.
Right. So just, like literally just grabbing dirt off where we're walking and just put it in.
It does look like crushed opal.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think I buy a like street cart type thing of noodles and I'm eating it. And the reason why I picked that is because I feel like the chopsticks used to eat them are like having two tiny staffs. And so it's like fun for me to eat while it's also like, there's like a good protein of some sort in there as well. And some sort of like nutty sauce or something that I quite enjoy.
Heck yeah. It actually kind of reminds you of homeworld food a little bit. It is, a little oilier than you were expecting, but it feels like you're gonna it's gonna keep you like warming from the inside. Are you is Banshee like a spicy person?
Oh yes, Banshee. I'm quite the spicy food aficionado because I want to defeat my taste buds I want to defeat the heat with my superior physique.
Yeah. I think you can see there's like a little folding table set up with like a plastic gingham tablecloth that has not only like the local offerings for spice, but like off-world spices as well, like all in various indicators of heat, which vary from planet to planet, it turns out.
I think that I'm like, when I ask for the spicy, I get like the tourist spicy, and I'm like, no, give me the spice of your people. And that is like I get the challenge spice. Like
the person who's working behind the noodle thing looks kind of like a tamarind monkey, but like in height and in shape and size. But when you look at them, they have like what is it, like instead of like you would say like maybe moles or acne or something, but it is all crystalline as well. And they have and they look at you and they're like, okay. They give you the like, all right then, and they like turn around and come back with like a squirt bottle of like fluorescent blue something, and as they squirt it in, it like puffs out, and you like whoever's right behind you, Banshee, also gets a little bit of like yeah, it's good.
I shall vanquish this. And I'm so excited about it. Like, I can't
Just
wait.
for me again. Why don't you roll body?
Yeah, I was waiting for this. Yeah.
I just gotta know.
I wish I could find a way to use technobabble in this situation, but I'm not going to.
I don't know how you would.
All right, so I just barely made it, but it's a mixed success because so I have 5 plus 2, so 7. I just barely made it across.
Ooh. It seems like because you're from like a fairly like warrior-esque home world, spicy food, you are not a stranger to it. This is the food of affliction, whatever you've put in your mouth. It is the kind of spicy food that comes from a place where it is the only preservative, because frontier space, sometimes you don't get the electricity you need or the power you need to keep things alive. So it is both fermented and preserved, and it's going to kill whatever's in your mouth. And
I'm going to retake the reckless condition, since like I'm not technically fighting, but since I basically made a fighting attack and I got a mixed success, I'm going to take that condition back.
I mean, I just take it like. Is there anyone else who's exploring stuff as you travel through this little port, this harbor?
I think as we were walking along and exploring, I'm buzzing. I'm like kind of buzzing with, I don't know, like a fascination, and there's like a sense of being overwhelmed by information and being overwhelmed by like what feels like memories, but they sort of just feel like faint feelings. Like I don't have any concrete images. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of allowing my sense of smell to guide me, even if that's kind of making me sort of like go off track a little bit and have to like run back to the rest of the group. But I'm just kind of letting my nose guide me. I'm like, I have a strong inclination, an uncertain confidence that I'm being led to somewhere.
Roll me a heart.
Ooh, just all heart. Ooh,
Heart.
that's the one stat I've got a -1 in.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Okay. All right. Was gonna be a 10, now it's a 9. So it's an opportunity for growth.
A mixed success. It's like, it's like you were here in a dream, in that everything is familiar, but nothing looks the same. You're trying to describe it. It's the like, I knew I was at my house, but it was my old high school, but like it was my house. I knew that. It has that energy to it. You're walking through. I know this is somewhere I've been before, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. You're wandering. Your feet start leading you towards you feel like a pull. You find yourself standing outside a little ramshackle watering hole. It is called the Surly Herbert, and it is outside. It's got kind of it. The only way you know that this place has been named is because someone has like scrawled it over the door. It doesn't seem like it was done by the proprietor, to be quite honest. In the back, you can kind of see it seems to have been attached to like a to call it a junkyard would be a little bit complimentary, but it's not so much of a dump.
Yeah, I'm looking at this place. I like the vibe about this place. What is it? Is it the disregard for mechanical parts? The potential and what could be built from all of that detritus back there. Let me find the crew. So I'm gonna make sure that maybe like the crew is nearby. Have I lost them completely, or?
Nepter Olakun, how much do you think you're paying attention to what Bernard is up to?
Nepter is sticking with Bernard because Bernard is worrying them. Because I think since they were on the ship with Bernard, when they suddenly ran off, I was concerned, but I was dealing with my own mini concerns and fears to follow through. But I would try to keep a close eye on Bernard. But now they went from running away in the ship, and now they're like sort of drifting off. It seems like something is leading them, and in my mind, the idea of something leading any of us anywhere is interesting, but concerning. So Neptune's been sticking close by.
Olokun definitely was keeping an eye out. Always keeping an eye out on everybody and everything. Noticed what Bernard was doing and was about to be not concerned, but alert level 1 was about to go off, but then saw Nepter following and was like, if Nepter's there, then I don't need to worry about it yet. In the sense that I trust Nepter in as far as there's another person there. So if I ask a question, they will respond. Whereas I don't know if I'd get the same response if I asked Bernard the same question. So seeing Nepter go off, I'm like, okay, well, we do need to offload these things. And I would turn to Banshee and say, are we following or are we selling this stuff off first?
I'm standing there. I'm still like exactly the same physical prowess you're used to, but there's like one single tear going down my face, and I'm like, yes, I think we should. Yes, we should sell some things. The captain asked us to sell the items that we have procured, so we should do that for the captain.
Okay, Amiak. Agreed. Let's go. Let's find somewhere to offload this stuff. And I am hoping we have some kind of communication. We're not standing right next to each other.
You can. It would not be out of the realm of believability that you might have like some short range comms. I feel.
I think they're very janky, but
they're janky. They're janky. Sometimes it sounds like you're on helium, but they do work. But yes, if you'd like, again, the Surly Herbert is attached to this like junkyard, which you might be able to offload. If you'd call it junk. Precious bobbleheads.
Some may call it junk. I call it treasure.
The treasure was what we made along the way.
My friend Olokun, I feel that you have been an excellent sparrer when it comes to wordplay and manipulation, so I will let you take the lead, and if you need me to stand behind you and flex my muscles, I shall do that.
Give Banshee a little slap on the bicep, just like exactly what I need.
So if I have this correct, Bernard and Nepter, you're headed into the tavern, and Banshee and Olokun, you'll head out to the junkyard behind it. Let's start there then. As you head, the junkyard is just that, a little scrappy. There are a few discarded ships. It's, again, small port town. You're not going to get a ton of everything. Most people have picked through a lot of the good. I just discovered this is a thing. It's sort of a pick your own, but the pick your own is for cars. Is for parts of cars. So like there are pieces of ship about that have just been scavenged through until they're just sort of chairs and frames. There is a robot, there's a spindly looking droid, sort of invokes the concept of a centaur in that it's got 4 legs and then a torso and an elongated sort of face. It is sorting through boxes and piles of things very quickly, and looks up from whatever it's doing to from what it's up to see you. Hello.
Yes. Hi. We got some goods we'd like to offload. Maybe get some, some equipment, some food and rations, whatever you have that we could possibly trade for these.
Looking at Banshee. The droid looks at you. What kind of equipment? Is it stolen?
Depends. Is that a problem?
No.
Then
Frankly, we
yes.
don't register. We don't really. Most of the things that pass through here are stolen.
Oh, perfect. Well, we got some stolen idols.
Idols.
Yes.
And the droid reaches in and sort of is digging through a bin, and it pulls out it pulls out Horton's Guide to Universal Religions. It starts flipping through them, trying to what culture are these idols for? I could find them a home.
I have no idea, but I would assume that they're pretty precious. I've never seen an idol that could move its head before.
It moves. Drops the book. Gimme.
It is from a culture that must be indecisive because it often shakes its head unsure of itself.
Take it out, place it like on my hand, so it's like straight up, and you go, boop.
Interesting. And does it work in zero gravity?
Do you want it to work in zero gravity?
Well, if we're selling it, how many of these do you have?
Oh, we got a pretty much a crate full.
If there's a crate full, I must be able to tell people that it works in zero gravity, for many of these people are on ships, and some ships don't have gravitational centers in them to create gravity. So you would not want something that requires gravity, and that requires gravity on a ship that does not have it.
It works in water.
Oh, that seems close enough. And it takes the one you've been holding and taps it. Apparently every NPC I make is fascinated by bobbleheads.
Who isn't?
Who isn't, frankly? They're great. I can give you, taps it again. How many of these do you have?
Look at the crate. How many do we have?
Probably have like 30.
We got around 30.
We have all of them. I don't understand. We had all the ones that are here. We brought them all.
You have all of these idols.
Look, whom decides not to say or correct or do it.
You are doing a great job doing all the talking.
This feels like something you're gonna need to roll for. It's convincing this droid that A, that you have all of them, and A, that these are precious things that you should buy. Let's see, what would I call this?
Savvy, right?
I would call this a savvy roll. The savvy's our charisma.
Which one of us is doing this? I think it's Olakun still the one trying to convince you. I'm just saying dumb things behind you.
I could do it, but isn't there a maneuver that one can help out with?
You can assist.
I can assist you. Okay, let me scroll down to the technobabble because I have to use technobabble to assist you.
Please technobabble me into your way into selling this these bobbleheads for me.
Yes, if you focus the non-linear stabilizer on it, it actually gives a nice neutrino surge.
Does it?
Or there's a nice thermal pressure buildup, and I bat it to show you how it moves and makes. Oh, I have a better one. There's a nice destabilization effect, and I show how the head doesn't stay stable because of you tapping it.
I will take it.
Okay.
You have sufficiently described what a bobblehead does.
Yeah. So now you get a +1 Olakun on your roll.
That's right. That helps because it turned a 6 into a 7.
Nice.
Heck yeah. You did not fail. It looks at you. The droid, the junkyard droid looks at you. It sort of it looks to Banshee and nods sagely. Yes, I see. Well, we can probably add it to our gift shop, but it will need a little plaque saying where it is from, if it is not an idol of a specific place. And it sort of you see it put the bobblehead down and scuttle off for a moment and comes back. And you hear like a whirring sound, and what looked like another pile of junk with like a little arm starts moving. A 3D printer has started. Well, now I have to calculate the overhead of adding the plaque. I can give you 5 galactic credits for it.
I don't know, Banshee.
It's not a good deal.
I know. That's why I'm turning to my muscle. Like, Banshee, what do you think?
I'm looking at you to see what you want me to do, because this is like your forte and not mine.
As I ask this question, I turn my back to the droid so I can give you a very obvious, like, bad, like, use your muscle kind of, give it a little push.
I literally push the desk, and I go, "You can do better."
It fully startles the droid who, we're a little short on funds right now. I can do better. We can,
if you sell these, you'll have more funds.
8.
It is a win-win situation.
9 galactic credits.
I look back at Olakun.
It's probably about like 10 is probably like $50. I don't know. It's not a good. It's better, but it's not great.
Right. But also, I know that this is junk, so that's good. Good job, Banshee. Turn back to him. You know what? We'll cut you a deal. 9 is good.
The droid nods again and walks back off. It comes back. It has one of the plaques that is from the 3D printer, and it says, "Wish you were here, Pious Andronicus," which it places on one of the bobbleheads to show you. And now we have a gift shop offering, and it scuttles away again. And comes back with a flat USB. It kind of looks like a long SIM card. This is a galactic credit. They come in. They all are a standard shape and size, which is which is large SIM card, small USB, flat, with a hole to like wear them if you need to. However, they have different denominations on them. Like, not like our dollars where it's a denomination per item, but it is more of a you can load them with a certain amount of backed concept money. Don't dig too hard into it. You can load them with a certain amount of money, and then that is the finite amount on it. So they can you can trade it for real money at most worlds. Most worlds take galactic credits because they have no choice otherwise. But yes, it so it gives you, and also it has a little feature where if you kind of press on one side of it, a little hologram appears showing you how much credit is on the thing. So yeah, you hold it and it's soup, and it says 9 credits. And yes, a pleasure doing business with you. Sorry we cannot offer more. It's been hard, but we're doing our best. And the droid looks good. Is there anything else you'd like to sell?
Well, we do have this second crate of and this is the one that had like the electronics and
in the receipts, yeah.
But pretend the receipts are just to protect the actual electronics in it. Now take out what we have, present them to the droid.
It digs through this secondary crate. This is a great deal of things. This is very unorganized great deal of things. There are many things in here that are not all of the same thing, like your last crate. This is different. This will take me a moment to collate. And it goes about it. Shifting to the bar. Bernard and Nepter, you enter, I assume, the bar portion of Surly Herbert. Where you find it's dark, but it's not dead. It's just dark. It's sort of your standard dive bar arrangement. You've got a bar on one side that has dusty bottles. Most of them are not as full as they could be. There is a stage in the far corner that usually probably holds musicians, maybe a quartet that plays jazz music of some kind, space jazz music. There's a couple folk around. Looks like they've just gotten off of work, various kinds of work, or folk like you who have just stopped into port and look like they're just looking for a place to rest their legs, including several cyborgs who literally have sat down to rest their leg as they polish and sit around chatting.
We walk in and I go, I like this place, Neptar. What do you think?
Bernie, why are we in a bar? Why is this the place?
Let's explore. I think it's nice. I think it's nice. Well, why don't we see if they have, I don't know, drinks, I guess. It's a bar.
If you head to the bar, there's an old humanoid looking bartender. He has walked out of Moby Dick. He's grizzled, wind chapped, but in the way that's clearly it's solar wind, obviously. Wind chapped. He looks like he taught Methuselah. Like he is old. Kind of has done that thing where as you get old, he's sort of retracting, his body's retracting in on itself. So you realize as he walked to the bar, he's just a prune that is standing on several boxes so that he can reach the top of the bar. But just like wizened older gentleman doing the NPC cleaning of the bar top.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, can I get you anything?
Yes, that would be great. What do you got? What do you got?
We have, and he looks and he goes, brown, or we have clear.
Interesting. I look at Neptar. This is one of these moments where I feel both excited and very perplexed, as these concepts are strange to me. And I go, Nectar, I don't fully understand how one consumes colors. Do you have a process? And what is a clear color? How do you consume clear? How do you consume brown?
So...
Fascinating. We'll have one of each. Yes?
Oh, wow. Yeah, we did that order.
Bartender turns and he pulls two bottles down off the shelf. As he described it, there's a bottle with brown liquid and a bottle of clear liquid, and he pours them both out into tall shot glasses for you and puts them in front of you.
So, these aren't actual colors. They just look like the color, so they're called that. But
oh, I see. Yes.
yeah,
A turn of phrase.
a turn of phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I put both paws around the glass, and I lean in to smell it.
Which color glass did you smell?
Oh no.
I think I start with the brown.
Then you just lean and sniff it.
Sniff, sniff.
Have you ever watched a cat like smell something and just like open mouth sniff it?
Yeah.
I think that's the energy as you like huff what is essentially gasoline soaked oak. Notes of woodsiness, pretension from whatever hipster would have described this for you. A little bit of like oak cask aged way too long, and yet probably no amount of aging is going to make this better. and that diesel acrid scent of alcohol made from minerals somehow. When you rotate it in the cup, it kind of it makes it like a tinkling sound. There's no way there's any solids in here, but it does somehow tinkle like
rough.
like stones as it rocks.
As I sniff it, I'm Nepter, it's not safe. It's not safe.
No.
I think this would bleach my fur if I consumed it.
Oh, how would it do? I'm actually. Wait, no, I'm interested now. Why would you say that to me?
You want to give this a chance? You want to try this?
Neptune like looks down at them. You want to know what I want to try?
Oh, yes.
They take both. They take the clear one and they kind of mix it with the brown one.
The bartender dives behind the bar. Mix them. First of all, 2 shot glasses full makes 1 shot glass kind of full on a very messy bar. But yes, do you mix them? Bartender dives behind the bar. He's seen this before. As you mix them, the cup, the glass rattles like it's been in an earthquake. Like there's an earthquake. It almost as if a ghost has possessed it. It rattles, and it also makes that sound as a little prism of color kind of comes out of the top of this, like shines from the top of it, and then the cup relaxes. Any rocking or foaming of the liquid has settled out, and you now have what is ostensibly a double shot of light brown.
What now, Nepter? What now?
I don't think I get this far. I guess I drink it. I feel like I have to now.
Why don't you just give it a tentative lap? Just a lap.
Yeah, no. Okay, no, yeah, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. No, that's a smart thing to do. That's a smart thing to do. And you see that it takes the glass and it like stare at it for a period of time.
So now you guys got to pinch your nose.
And I think they look at Bernard and they say, so while I make this mistake, do you want to tell me like what's going on? And then they immediately down the whole thing.
Nepter, roll me for a body roll. I feel like that we knew this was gonna happen.
We knew that, yeah.
And then also give me actually no, tell me what your body roll is first.
Okay. Okay, 9.
Okay. And then roll me a heart. Just
heart. Okay. Oh shoot. Oh my god. 11.
Okay. You drink it. It does somehow, like what we watched the concoction happen. The clear, which you didn't huff first, you have no idea what it might have smelled like, but now it does burn going down, as all alcohol does. And it hits your stomach, and I'm gonna assume that you have some similar biology to humans, so I can describe it the way I'm gonna describe it. Except different in that warmth that expands in your stomach, you feel it rising in the rest of you as the little star nebulas in your eyes flash. You feel like maybe when someone like an engine that's just received a bunch of coal. Like you feel like you could maybe sprint laps around the bar, and also like a nap would be the greatest thing on the planet. Your body or mind is racing, but if you do, the other one will not stop. I'm gonna ask you, and this is a wild thing that I'm making up because I think it's fun now. You can add a +1 to body or brains, but then you will take a -1 to the other. And that's just for the scene. Like that's for the rest of the session, which there's
I would like because of I think especially because of how where Nepter is sort of where mentally as I took that shot, I think I would get the temporary bonus to brains and
you have a
the
temporary
-2 body.
And the that expansive feeling in you sort of stays because it's the +1 to brain. You have a little bit of like, wow, man, have you ever thought about like the way air currents move? It's sort of having that vibe to it, like almost high but truly expansive. Bernard, you just watched that happen. The bartender has crawled back onto his apple boxes and is I'd say you never quite know how it's gonna work out, but
How has it worked out in the past?
The bartender points to a section of wall that has a bleached like it looks like there's maybe a shadow of a person on it, but what it is the rest of the wall has been bleached.
Oh.
Last batch did something like that. It just sort of depends on the small batch distillery.
Potent. Very potent. Say, good proprietor, do I seem familiar to you?
Maybe. I've gotta admit, I drink a lot of brown. The bartender kind of maybe he does give you a good hard look. As you're sitting there watching, you hear hear some other people in the bar start like yell. Their voices are raised. They're arguing. They seem to an argument is sort of broken out as this bartender's staring at you. They're playing darts in a corner, and they're fighting each other, and they start yelling about like someone cheating and like taking a step over the line as they throw the dart. And the bartender looks at you, oh, hold up right there, and he hops off his crate and he walks over to heads over and like with a broom, and he starts hitting the two fighting darts players. Just knock it out. We don't, no, not in here. Take it outside. You can see as he's doing that, the dartboard has a picture on it.
Oh.
As if that was the target. And the two seem to have been fighting over just foul play as you. Nectar's having a great time.
Yeah. Nectar's really vibing. My attention is not caught by this picture, but I look at Nepter and I go, Nepter, I think this is the place. I think I've been here before. Don't know why or when, but I'm pretty sure.
Huh?
Yes, my feelings exactly. I don't know why, but I just feel like this is a special place?
A special, like, do you mean you've been here, like, physically, or do you mean, like, your spirit?
It's a good question, Nepter. Well, let me ask you this, Nepter. Have you ever died before?
I guess that's a good question. See, sort of like where I'm from, death is sort of weird because, like, we more like burn out than like die, but then we sort of become something else. So it's sort of like I guess people call it like reincarnation, but it's weird because then we sort of multiply. So it's like a multiplication. That's funny. Multiplication.
But what does it feel like to multiply?
I don't know. I've never multiplied before because if I did, then I wouldn't really be me. I'd be like someone else. But it's probably gonna be cool.
Someone else. Huh. I guess you could, so in a way you could burn out and then become someone new.
Yeah. Or like multiple someone's new.
How many multiples?
It usually depends actually, but I don't know.
Yes. This is fascinating.
As you contemplate the mysteries of the universe, I am going to cut back to Banshee and Olakun. You have been waiting. Have you been waiting patiently while this droid just looks through all this box?
We've been trying to wait patiently. Like, definitely, the foot taps are getting a little faster now. I'm not saying anything, but I'm you know, I work a lot with explosives. They have fuses. They have time limits. Someone needs to hurry up.
I've been doing calisthenics. Like yoga poses and stuff like that too. Just like,
yeah, this droid is having is digging through. It is the whose line is it anyway box of props almost. Just insane things coming out of it. It has gotten to the end of it and has amassed you see a pile of all of the things. It has sort of categorized it by family, maybe. There's paper things, there's metal-y things, there's plasticky things, and it has sorted these all out and looks back at you. I can give you 15 credits for all of this.
15. No. Like, you see how much you just put out? This is definitely worth a lot more than 15 wholesale.
You're gonna roll me. You're gonna roll savvy for that.
Good. Exactly.
Not sit here.
It's very much that vibe right now.
we exchanged quite a bit of our rations for this, so it must be worth more than that.
10.
What'd you get?
10.
Rad. The droid looks at you and says, I can only do 15 because we simply do not have the funds for more, but I will give you half of your items back.
What about the 15 credits plus rations?
We could get you rations. Rations are inside. We don't deal in rations. Well, do you eat metal?
I don't know.
I don't.
Okay, probably not.
I look at Banshee like, yeah, I don't know about Banshee. I don't know.
I could certainly try.
It reaches out one of its arms and kind of scoops what is about half of what it's pulled out, and kind of jumbles it into the box again and shakes it, and hands the box back, like the crate back to you with, lighter, and then it kind of scuttles over to a shelf. Sort of you're in an open air space, so shelves outside I always find look very strange, but it has found it, like it runs over to a shelf. It pulls a wooden ticket, sort of like a plank, and it hands that to you, Olakun, that has your like one ration voucher. It says like, go inside and this is what the rest of your payment. And it goes over again to the thing, and it says, for your donation, you may also pick a prize from our junk shelf. Very. It looks like the rest of the junk in this whole place.
If there is anything that looks like a weight, like almost barbell looking, I will look for that to give to Banshee.
You find a completely featureless cylinder that is so heavy, and kind of like when you move it, like something inside is kind of loose, but otherwise, like it's quite heavy actually. It might have been from a planet that had less gravity than or it is not made for the gravity on this particular rock, but it hands it to you. And hands it to Banshee, I guess. Or it hands it to you to hand to Banshee. It is a pleasure doing business with you. You may go inside to meet with Herbert, who will give you your rations.
So we have 24 credits now?
Yes, I can't do math, but I assume that's correct. 24 credits and a voucher for probably half a crate of rations.
Cool. All right. Good enough. Banshee, let's head in.
Oh, look, I feel like I understand commerce now. I see. So you give people things and they give you rations, or you give people rations and they give you things. This is a good system, I believe.
That tends to be the thing.
Inside, you probably enter around the time that this fight is broken out, and Bernard and Nepter have sunken into a conversation about what it happens when you multiply.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you kind of head into a back, so you're you're kind of headed coming in the dartboards and stuff, and the people who are having their kerfuffle are just in the corner off of you, and then your friends are at the bar.
And I assume the bartender's probably like around them.
Yeah, the bartender is by the kerfuffle. In fact, they seem to be very heated about this fight, because drunk people arguing over darts.
I'm gonna walk up. Does it seem like they're actually like a threat to people around them if they're fighting, or is it like more just like idiots pushing each other?
Idiots pushing each other.
Okay. I will walk up and I will simply use my staff to separate them. Like I'll put like kind of like put it between them, so like if they're trying to shove, like they're kind of being pushed apart by it.
Give me a quick courage roll, just to get between them.
I got an 11.
Wild. You guys are rolling way too well.
Which is wild, because like, despite being a warrior character, I have 0 courage. So it's like, I think that's just how the sheet works out. But I think it's if I had taken soldier, I got courage. Since I took warrior culture, I got heart instead.
Yeah.
But
I just listen. I roll terribly, so I love running these games because I don't have to roll, except for the part where you guys roll so well. I'm just like, I guess the story is gonna happen. You can easily separate these two. It had the staff. You actually see like the bartender has been sort of he's wee and he's older, so he's stop it, and he's got his broom and he's like batting at both of them, and you just get between them like hey stop. You use the staff to stop, and they're this guy cheats at darts. He's no better than that Dale character himself. They're them's fighting words apparently.
Yeah. Well, your conflict may be true between the two of you. However, you pose a threat to others around you, and therefore you must either battle in an honorable way or desist in this combat immediately.
Threat is not a threat. One of the fighters swings their arm out towards you and knocks your newly acquired weight out of your hand. Nope. I'm gonna make this happen. It knocks the weight out of your hand. It's heavy.
That's fair. I'm holding a staff. That makes sense.
You're holding a staff, and it tumbles to the ground. As it does so, it sort of you hear a little click. And the weight starts to rattle. And like hum. And it does that for a few minutes. You can stop it, you can grab it, you can pick it up or whatever, but right now it's just like something is happening. It sort of makes that like mechanical whirring sound.
I look at Bernard and I go, this gift that Olgan gave me is making a strange noise, and I like motion towards Bernard.
Huh?
What can you do
What's
about
that?
it?
Oh,
Gonna bat it around. Oh,
It's very heavy, as a heads up.
oh! I catch it and instantly like plop it onto the box. Oh, and I start pawing at it, looking it out, turning it over. What? Where'd you get this from?
Olakun!
Olakun. Oh, wait, is this another one of your gadgets? Oh, okay.
He gave it to me. So you asked me the question. I told you where I got it.
Oh, I see. Yes. Well,
I think I'm still holding the two guys apart with the staff.
You are.
What is happening?
They're trying to fight each other while you guys are juggling this weight.
My idea for my staff is that it's like a kinetic dampener, so like it uses, or is that the word I'm looking for? Where like it uses enemies' momentum against them. So I feel like the more energy they're hitting it with, the more it's like making it harder. It's like absorbing the shocks from them a little bit.
Rad. I love that. Yeah, so they're really just like they're truly like when you put your hand out and the guy is cycling their arms. Yeah. Bernard, you've got this thing. You're kind of batting at it. And you get a little toe bean on the top of it. And like an EMP pulse, it like a pulse, not an EMP. What am I saying? There's a pulse as the whole thing whums out. And a little hologram appears from the top of it. Nepter, actually all of you, Bernard I think the least likely. Can you just roll me a quick brains? Let's see actually what your familiarity with this object is. Bernard, you can as well. 7.
11.
11. Well, I rolled a 12, but I rolled a 12, but I have a -1 for brains, so I got 11.
I rolled a 10 and I got +1.
Bernard, how'd you do?
I rolled a 10.
The plot happens. Great. You, so yes, Bernard, you've gotten a toe bean on this thing. It sort of, crackles and, pops open, in a hologram. It is you are all familiar with this, actually. You have one on your ship as well. What you are holding is a distress beacon black box. So when a ship starts to go down, goes down, often this is the thing that has a that has like information, whereabouts, all of these things. Sometimes they are also used as beacons. Like if you think you are going down, you can drop one, and it will look for a gravitational. It uses it. That's why it's so heavy. It's looking for more something else with gravitational weight. This is science. Link itself to, in the hopes that it has like coordinates. Usually it has records, things for people to find so they can come get you if you've messed up. So yeah,
That's so cool.
pops.
That's like such a clever idea. I like that.
Thank you. It pops and a little technology has gotten good. It hasn't gotten this good as a person who is holding the camera underneath their face, so it's really just sort of a nostril chin situation. You can see the 5 o'clock shadow of a humanoid man talking into it frantically. He's talking so fast, and Riley keeps making me laugh off screen. But yes, you're getting real Blair Witch energy as like he breathes into the mic. we're going down, and I was hit. I've been traveling, and this is the last chance I can do to send these away. To send this away, and hopefully someone will find it. And hopefully the scouts I have sent will come get me. Will help come get me. And this is Darryl Dale signing off, and he he does something, the thing goes dark. This man, by the way, incredibly sweaty. Just need to make that clear. Incredibly sweaty. This whole thing the whole thing goes dark, and in the room where it was so bright because you could see all the lights and stuff from this beacon, it goes out and it feels a little darker. And the people at the bar, the two men fighting between you, Banshee, Herbert, even the droid who's popped their head in, all of them look mad. Like, it looks like someone has insulted someone else's parent, like, in this moment. And almost in unison, everyone in the room spits on the floor.
Bernard, I'm looking at this device and I see the spit. I look up at Banshee and I go, well, I think those two individuals you just separated, didn't one of them say something about a Dale?
Everyone in unison spits again.
Banshee does it too because she doesn't understand that it's like she thinks it's just a custom that they do, so she's like,
Really?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
That's a character. Sorry.
Oh.
That's never.
Listen, it's gross.
Yeah.
Is that including the bartender? Bartender also.
It is clearly everyone is like, it is a like fuck that guy energy.
Hey old timer. Clearly you all know who this is. Can you fill us in?
You don't?
Like a not well liked person?
You don't? It's that rat bastard over there. And he points at the dartboard that has a picture of a man on it.
Same picture or same face?
If you put your hand up to cover his face, like the picture's face, and sort of imagine his face tilted back, yeah, it's probably the same guy.
Okun definitely like puts his thumb out, like
just looking. Yeah, probably the same guy. This guy looks nicer, like cleaner, less sweaty, and probably got his shit together, shaven. He has if you look at the picture, he's wearing a he looks honestly like he's a member of a barbershop quartet. He's wearing a blazer that is striped, not pinstriped. It is a yellow blazer with red stripes, or it might be a red blazer with yellow stripes. You really can't tell. He's got a jaunty little straw cap that he has at one angle. He has a big part of his head is a panel of metal. You can see maybe he's had a bit replaced. And Bernard, you can kind of hear it in your head of him knocking on it, ding ding, as he smiles and puts his thumb out as he's guaranteeing something. This man has the kind of smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes, but he has the straightest, whitest teeth you've ever seen. He has a smile you probably could hear as he like opens his mouth. Where he doesn't have the like hat covering kind of the like the metallic part of his head, he does have like a curl, like a big curly Q Superman blonde curl. It's clearly he's got like a nice head of hair. And yeah, the photo that they're using of him seems to be an ad of some sort, but the writing's too worn away to really tell.
Okay, so what did Rat Bastard do?
Oh, and the bartender will hobble. I have him in my head walking like Yoda, like
Like Puppet
hobbles.
Yoda.
Yeah, the puppet Yoda specifically. Hobbles over back to the bar and climbs back on his apple boxes so that the puppeteer can get behind him again. And we can stop spending the money on the puppeteering
On the
otherwise.
CGI.
On the CGI. He does. He gets back to the bar and he actually pours he pours a couple shots of brown and clears for some. He puts them in front of y'all.
Oh, I definitely take a shot. Yeah.
Which color?
Yes. I do one of each.
One of
I don't
each.
mix them like yesterday, but I do one and then the other.
Having taken them separately, that poof feeling happens in your stomach. However you expel gas, this would be how you do it.
Okay.
This would be the time you do it.
Okay.
And
I'm
as
gonna
it
X-card that, but yeah.
yes, but you do feel like tingly inside. Not as expansive as Nepter did. But yeah, so the bartender gets back to buy the party. Sighs. They've told this story a couple times, it seems like. About 15 years back, maybe a little longer, a con artist named Darryl Dale came through, and we'd heard rumors, but we believed him, and he said that he was going to revamp the town, refurbish it, and get us all of the things we needed to make Pious Andronicus a thriving center of commerce and industry. And instead, as he took all our money and he requested for permits and he ran. It wasn't until a day later when we noticed this happened that another pious asteroid, word reached us that he had done the same to them, and the same to at least 10 other asteroids in the belt. He's just making his way from asteroid to asteroid, taking advantage of people who don't have that much to give.
It's a rat bastard indeed.
Rat
I
bastard.
drink the brown. Just brown, no mixing.
The bartender nods. He says, "The last anyone saw of Darryl Dale, his ship was being chased by several of our boys as he made his way deeper into the belt. We thought no one saw him since, and no one can find the play. No one knows what happened, and well, now it seems we do." These beacons, like I said, are made so that you can find the people who set them off. And as you whoever would like to, you should give me a brains roll again. I'm using this kind of as an observational thing. Well, take your experience if you need it.
Yeah, I got a 9.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 10 with the -1.
11?
Yep.
Okay.
Same here. Bernard got an 11.
My God, you guys. You all notice it. As the bartender is telling you this story, the two ship captains, that's what they are, have started edging towards the door. They are no longer fighting each other. They are doing the thing that you do where they're slowly moving towards the door. In fact, a couple of people who are in the bar are starting to edge towards the door. But yeah, the bartender is sitting there. And he he hit at least 20 asteroids in the belt. It took hundreds of credits from all of us. It's probably 20,000 credits, maybe more. Who knows how many people he's gotten. Oh well, I guess we'll never find that money again. And there is just the sound of a chair falling over as 3 of these captains have sprinted out of the bar.
Banter, grab Nectar.
What's that?
Grab Nectar.
Sorry, you cut out for a second. Go grab Nectar. Yeah, I'm the smallest, but yeah, I guess I pick up Nectar to carry. Is that what you're asking me to do?
Yes, I think you're the strongest.
Okay. Yeah.
Nectar's very light, to be clear.
Okay. Yeah. I go. So I just, but I don't understand the instruction in character, so I just pick Nectar up.
And I speak up. Just be careful with them. We've been contemplating multiplicity and the inevitability of death and rebirth.
Oh, Ban, can you multiply?
I have certainly tried on many occasions.
Oloku,
Oh, yeah, of course.
hearing this banter is just like, back to the ship. And I was also, but like I said, back to the ship, but then I turn back to the bartender and present my ration ticket. She's like, rations, quickly, now.
Yeah, the bartender. Are you going to wait for the rations? The bartender hops off his crates again and is like, all right. But he's again, we're back to the Yoda walking.
Oloku waits like 2 beats, just like, no, not worth it. Back to the ship.
We can get them
20,000
later, and I grab the token again as we leave.
20,000 credits can buy a lot of rations. So as you all bust out of the bar, you see it. This beacon has done its job. Other people's nav systems comm systems are getting pings, and suddenly everyone in the port has started to make their way towards their ships. And I'm going to end us here as you see this gold rush of pirates, of sailors heading out to space. Thank you so much for joining us for our first episode of our Starscape game, a playtest kickstarted game brought to you by Golden Lasso Games. I said games 4 times, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna go around and reintroduce our cast and let you know where you can find them all over the internet. Starting with Riley.
Hey everybody, I'm Riley Silverman. You can find me on Threads or Instagram at Riley Silverman. And as mentioned at the top of the show, I have written 3 Star Wars books. You can check those out as well. And I also have a gaming podcast that I did for 5 years using the Doctor Who role-playing system called The Game of Rassilon. And we are starting to, you can watch all that, the entire series you can listen to as a podcast. And we are now going to be launching our own unique IP podcast with the same crew of players using this Gum and Villainy system. And that'll be launching sometime this fall, hopefully. And that is going to be called Good Chaotic. And we are very excited to be doing that. So, similar system to this one, but a little bit different, much more heist oriented, but it's going to be fun.
We could steal things.
Yeah, so you can find we have, it turns out, as the story goes on. But yeah, you can find that at goodchaotic, I believe, .com, or look up the Good Chaotic podcast. And we haven't launched the podcast itself yet, but we have socials and stuff, and we have t-shirts. So
awesome. And continuing in my counterclockwise circle, Artem, where can the good people find you?
Hi, y'all. I'm Artem. I'm a TTRPG nerd, a theater director, and a podcaster. And you can find me and all my projects at Instagram at Artem Directly. I'm currently working on the new season of my Scary Movies and Sandwiches podcast, where I combine scary movies with sandwiches, and I talk about what they have in common, the themes, the meanings, the secret messages. The show is called Scary Movie and a Sandwich, and new episodes will be coming in September. And until then, you'll find me gaming in a bunch of communities around LA, and I'm on a handful of streams, and probably going to be in a handful of streams more. So find all of that
on my Instagram at Artam directly. Thanks.
Wonderful. And continuing around, Garrett, who are you? What makes you famous?
Hi, I'm Garrett. You can follow my personal socials on Twitter because I refuse to say X, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Black Riku. It's BLKRIKU, all one word. I am part of a podcast called Vintage Anime Podcast, where we, look at old anime, review it, and talk about like what we liked about it, give you a little trivia, stuff like that. And you can follow my YouTube channel at Gare Bear Stare, all one word. We've been on a little hiatus, but by the time this goes up, we will be back. So hope to see you there.
Wonderful. And Danny?
Hi, it's me, Danny's Corner. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Danny's Corner. I stream on Twitch at the aforementioned name, and I upload things on YouTube at, again, the aforementioned name, but the capitalization is slightly different. Do I know what it is? No. You can also find me where I usually post art and also just talk about random stuff on my Twitter, which is at Animated Pizza, and on my Instagram, which is _ Danny's Corner _ And my Instagram is probably the best place if you want to see just art and not my ramblings about things that interest me. And yeah, I'm in the TTRPG space occasionally. You can find me at a multitude of places. Where you can find me next, I really don't know. It's 1 a.m. and it's cold, so I've forgotten everything.
We will get you out of here.
It's okay. I do this every time I do an outro. I don't know where I'll next be in life.
It's okay. We pre-record, so we also don't always know where we're going to be in life when these come out. And last and not least, I am Clara. I'm all over the internet as clearly _golden, unless you're into mermaids, in which case you can find me over at Instagram as mermaid _clarity. Thank you so much to my players for playing with me on this first episode of this little starry adventure. You can find us here I think every Monday streaming. Oh no, Aaron's gonna be so mad at me when I can't remember what I'm supposed to say. Anyway, you can find us all over at Queen's Court Games, where we do multiple podcasty streaming things such as this, our other mischief style podcasts, or you can listen to our ongoing Vampire Chronicle, The All Night Society, anywhere where you like to listen to podcasts. I think I did that right. Aaron, don't be mad at me. I'm gonna go now. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you.